Back to the Vatican now, as the first U.S.-born Pope, Leo XIV, delivered his first papal homily earlier this morning. The world's 1.4 billion Catholics are getting to know the new head of their church. Joining us now is Bishop David O'Connell of the Trenton, New Jersey diocese. He's a former president of the Catholic University of America here in Washington. Bishop, thanks so much for joining us. What are your thoughts, first of all, about the election of Pope Leo, and what does it tell you about the direction of the Catholic Church?
Well, I tell you, I was quite surprised by the announcement yesterday. Among all of the American cardinals, he's the only one that I've never met. And so I really don't know him personally, and I'm not that familiar with his background, but I certainly was delighted when he appeared on the balcony of St. Peter's. So emotional, so filled with emotions, the sense of the moment, and wearing the traditional papal garment and greeting the people in such a beautiful way, wishing them peace. That was his message.
It was such a powerful moment indeed. The significance of the name Leo, Bishop, and what do you think that says about this new Pope's priorities?
Well, the last Pope named Leo was Pope Leo XIII. And of course, he was the author of the encyclical Rerum Novarum, which was an encyclical meant to address social conditions in the world, the state of workers, the state of employment, and things of that nature. And so I think in choosing that name, he's indicating to us that he's very serious and very interested in issues of social justice.
Pope Leo XIV is widely seen as a centrist, a unifier, but there are concerns about the political landmines he will face down the road. Here's what his two older brothers said yesterday. Listen to this, Bishop. Listen.
I think he sees the United States is headed in the wrong direction in terms of immigration, that this is a total injustice. These are people. Doesn't matter where they're born, they are people first. And so they need to be treated as people first.
I just hope others, here, overseas, that it doesn't turn political because, oh, he's an American, he's going to screw the church up. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and it just keep the nationalism out of it, and let's just be the Catholic Church.
Do you share those concerns, Bishop? And how would you like to see Pope Leo handle these rather thorny political issues?
Well, of course, I don't necessarily share their concerns. The Pope has to speak for himself, and he has to share his own point of view and perspective, and he will do that. I have no doubt that he will do that. But I don't necessarily share those points of view. It was interesting because prior to the conclave, people were saying that an American would never be elected because we would never put a superpower in yet another position where they would have even more power to exert in the world. So it was very interesting to me that the Cardinals did choose an American. But he spent most of his priestly life in Peru working in the missions for the Augustinian order.
And on that point, Bishop, as you point out, Pope Leo, yes, he's the first pope from the United States, born in the United States, from Chicago, but he spent decades in Peru, and he eventually got dual citizenship there, and he was seen as the least American out of the various American cardinals. Do you think that works in his favor?
I think it does. I think he... if you noticed yesterday, I found it interesting that he didn't speak any English at all from the balcony of St. Peter's. And I wondered, I wonder why he didn't do that.
He did this morning,
I don't think he
though.
wants to. Oh, yeah, pardon me?
He did this morning speak English.
This morning did, but yes. Yesterday when he first appeared.
Yesterday he did, you're right.
Yeah, and I think that's because he didn't want to push that too much and have people associate an agenda with speaking in English. But this morning he was speaking with the cardinals at Holy Mass at the Sistine Chapel, and he did speak in English, and he did speak positively and warmly to his brother cardinals from the United States, along with all the others.
Pope Leo is clearly an intellectual. He speaks multiple languages, has a degree in mathematics from Villanova University outside of Philadelphia. He also is a fan of tennis, said in an interview with the Augustinian order that he considers himself quite the amateur tennis player. Since becoming successor to St. Peter, what else stands out to you about Pope Leo XIV?
Well, anybody who is a religious, and there have been about 34 members of religious orders who have become pope, they bring with them the charism and the spirit of their order to the position. Pope Francis did that as a Jesuit, and now Pope Leo will do that as an Augustinian. And his words yesterday, I thought, were very consoling and comforting, that he was offering to the world peace, and that he was asking the world to be welcoming and loving toward everyone. And I think that's a very good message. It's a good way to start.
Is. Yes, it is. Bishop David O'Connell, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here, Wolf. God bless you.
God bless you as well. Thank you, and we'll be right back.